Wake up, Cleveland! The off-season is officially heating up, and if you think the front office is sleeping, you are dead wrong. We are talking about a massive philosophical shift that could redefine the Browns' identity for the 2026 season. I have sources telling me about a new defensive mastermind entering the building, significant roster cuts looming under the offensive leadership, and a quarterback name surfacing in free agency discussions that will absolutely divide this fan base. This isn't just news, this is the blueprint for survival in the AFC North. Buckle up, because everything is about to change.
Let's get right into the thick of it with the defensive side of the ball, because this is where championships are built and destroyed. Sources are confirming that Cory Undlin has emerged as a serious, legitimate candidate to take over as the defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns as we head into the 2026 campaign. Now, for those of you who just look at the box scores, you need to understand the pedigree here. Undlin isn't just a random name pulled out of a hat. We are talking about a guy who has been in the trenches, dissecting coverages and building secondary units for years. He has spent time refining his craft with organizations that prioritize defensive intelligence. When you look at his history, particularly his work with defensive backs, you see a coach who demands precision. The Browns are restructuring the entire coaching staff for 2026, and the front office views Undlin as the potential architect for a new, more aggressive defensive philosophy. The analysis circulating inside the building highlights his ability to adapt his scheme to the talent available, rather than forcing square pegs into round holes, which has been the Achilles heel of this franchise for far too long. But let me switch gears and talk to you like I'm sitting in your living room. Is this the move that strikes fear into the hearts of the Baltimore Ravens or the Cincinnati Bengals? That is the only question that matters. I look at Cory Undlin's resume, and I see experience, yes. I see technical knowledge, absolutely. But does he have the fire? Does he have the unmitigated gall to walk into that locker room and demand excellence from a unit that has been inconsistent at best? The Cleveland Browns do not need a technician, they need a leader of men. We have seen defensive coordinators come through this city with binders full of plays, but zero ability to inspire violence on the field. The report suggests Undlin is a strong name due to his adaptability. Well, let me tell you something. Adaptability is just a fancy word for compromise if you don't have a backbone. The fans need to know if this man can handle the pressure cooker that is Cleveland media and the dog pound. If he comes here, he isn't just coaching a defense, he is inheriting a legacy of expectations that are sky high. I want to see a defense that flies around the ball, that hits with bad intentions, and that doesn't blow coverages in the fourth quarter. If Cory Undlin is the man to fix the communication breakdowns that plagued us last year, then sign him up. But if this is just another recycled coaching hire to fill a spot on the payroll, then we are setting ourselves up for mediocrity in 2026. The front office believes his philosophy fits the current roster. I say, prove it. The interview process is ongoing, but make no mistake, this decision will be the first domino to fall in what promises to be a chaotic offseason.
Listen, if you want the truth, the raw, unfiltered truth about the Cleveland Browns that the mainstream media is too afraid to tell you, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Join the family. Don't miss a beat. If you thought the defensive news was heavy, wait until you hear what is happening on the offensive side of the ball. Todd Monken is not just calling plays, he is calling the shots on who stays and who goes. Sources indicate that with Monken's influence heavily weighing on the roster construction for the 2026 season, 3 specific players have been identified as probable departures. We are looking at potential trades or outright releases. Why? Because according to the internal evaluations, they simply do not fit the tactical scheme Monken is implementing for next year. This is a massive development. Usually, the general manager handles the groceries and the coach cooks the meal. But here, we are seeing Monken walk into the grocery store and throw items out of the cart because they don't fit his recipe. This tells me that the Browns are fully committing to Monken's vision of a high-octane, versatile offense. The report explicitly states that the decision passes through a lack of fit in the proposed 2026 tactical scheme. Let me translate that for you. These players are either too slow, too expensive, or too stubborn to adapt to what Monken wants to run. And frankly, I respect it. You cannot have success in the National Football League if you are holding on to dead weight for the sake of sentimentality. We have seen too many Browns teams keep veterans past their expiration date because they were good locker room guys. I don't care if you are a saint in the locker room. If you cannot separate from coverage or if you cannot block on the perimeter, you are a liability.
Monken is looking for speed, he is looking for mismatches, he is looking for players who can execute complex concepts without hesitation. If these three players, whoever they ultimately are revealed to be, are slowing down the operation, they need to be gone yesterday. This signals a ruthless approach to the 2026 roster. It means nobody is safe. If you are a veteran on this team and you think your spot is guaranteed because of what you did 3 years ago, you are in for a rude awakening. Todd Monken is trying to build a Ferrari, and you cannot put tractor tires on a Ferrari and expect it to win a race. The tension in that building must be palpable right now. Agents are making calls, players are looking over their shoulders, and the front office is crunching the numbers. This is the ugly side of the business, but it is the necessary side. To get to where we want to go, sacrifices must be made. The offense was stagnant at times last year, and this purge is the direct response to that failure. Monken is drawing a line in the sand. You are either with the new era, or you are looking for a new zip code.
And now, we arrive at the story that is going to set the comment section on fire. As if the coaching changes and the roster purge weren't enough, the Cleveland Browns are reportedly analyzing the pros and cons of signing quarterback Malik Willis in free agency. You heard me correctly, Malik Willis. The debate internally is focused on whether Willis represents a viable option to compose the quarterback group, considering his potential for development and the cost-benefit ratio for the 2026 salary cap. Let's take a deep breath and look at the facts first. Willis is an elite athlete. The man has a cannon for an arm and legs that can break a game open. In a league where mobility is becoming a prerequisite, he fits the physical prototype. From a financial standpoint, bringing in a guy like Willis allows you to allocate money elsewhere, perhaps to replace those 3 players Monken is shipping out. It makes sense on a spreadsheet. But since when is football played on a spreadsheet? We are talking about the quarterback position for the Cleveland Browns. This is the most cursed job in sports history. Are we really in a position to take a flyer on a project? I look at this and I see desperation mixed with intrigue. On one hand, if Monken can unlock Malik Willis, you have a superstar. On the other hand, if he can't read a defense, you have a turnover machine that will crush the soul of this city. The emotional intensity of this decision cannot be overstated. Bringing in Willis is a signal that the Browns are not entirely sold on their current stability under center. You don't bring in a talent like that just to hold a clipboard forever. You bring him in to push the starter or to eventually take over. This creates a quarterback controversy before training camp even starts. Is that what we need? Do we need more drama? The front office is looking at the cost-benefit for the 2026 cap, which tells me they are trying to be efficient. But you cannot be cheap with the most important position on the field. If Malik Willis is the answer, then the question must have been, how do we give Stephen A. Smith a heart attack? This is a high-risk, high-reward move. It connects directly to Monken's desire for athleticism, but it contradicts the need for proven stability. If they pull the trigger on this, the pressure on the coaching staff to develop him immediately becomes immense. We are walking a tightrope, Cleveland. One slip and the 2026 season is over before it begins.
When you combine these 3 stories, the picture is crystal clear. The Cleveland Browns are stripping it down to build it back up in a new image. We have a defensive coordinator candidate in Corey Unlin who needs to bring toughness, an offensive coordinator in Todd Monken cutting the fat from the roster, and a potential gamble at quarterback with Malik Willis. This is a decisive moment in franchise history. Are we retooling for a Super Bowl run, or are we spinning our wheels in the mud of mediocrity? I want to hear from you. Is Malik Willis the missing piece, or a mistake waiting to happen? Drop your comments below. We are in this together, Cleveland. Stay tuned.